He's cheating on me. Lord, I don't wanna cheat on my boyfriend. But Lord, since you can't stop him from cheating, wait till him left the yard. Is our next man a coming yard? Just wait till him left the yard. I want them boy I take with far. I want them listen to the situation. Me have my man, but him a cheat with the next gal. Him swear on the cross, say I'm me one. Him no know, say me know, but I got the information. Oh, why should I stay home and cry? You take me for fool while I'm faithful to you. And next gal you a do while I'm waiting for you. Or you could do that, or you too damn rude. Lord, I don't wanna cheat on my boyfriend, but as far as I can see, he's cheating on me. Lord, I don't wanna cheat on my boyfriend, but Lord, since you can't stop him from cheating, wait till him left the yard. Is our next man a coming yard? Just wait till him left the yard. I want them boy I take with fire.
Listen all day, every day on your favorite streaming platform. The clean, fresh sound. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Every time I hear this instrumental, it's taking me back to days when I didn't exist. Or back in the day when I was a child. I'm picturing all the old school dancehall artists, and when I hear the instrumental, I'm reminiscing on the outfits. I'm seeing the outfits before me, the hairstyles, the dance moves.
And how things like dancehall queens and all of that.
Yes, all them things come into my all those things come into my mind with this instrumental. But I love it. I love old things of the past.
Oh, you're an old soul.
Yes, and I prefer older music than I have new music that I love, but if I were to choose, I'd choose the older music. There's something about it that's just not happening anymore, especially when it comes to old school soca. You ever listen to the I want to know what is it about the old school song that we just ain't having our songs anymore, especially the old school soca. Man, once I heard old school soca, I just feel like dancing. It don't matter what. There's something, you listen to a touch, you listen to an old Beckett. Man, something in the music. Musicians, help me out. Why is it? I'm not hearing it in the music anymore. What was it?
Well, one of the things too is the music back then was slower as well.
Well, that is true.
It was a lot slower. I remember a friend of mine, mommy, at Carnival, she's saying, for them, they could have made like several laps around town for Carnival. But with our music, one lap and we burn, right? One lap and we burn. So, yeah, the music of yesterday, especially with the soca, it was slower. But I would hear persons commenting on the music of our generation, but the music of their generation too wasn't any better, It was the same type of quote unquote slackness, but just maybe in a craftier way.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
so there are times when I hear persons commenting on the music of our age, but yesterday it was kind of the same thing as well.
True.
So yeah.
They just had a smarter way to do it, and it was a little bit more covered. Now it's right out there. They're not very creative in the covering up now. But yeah, I prefer the older music, man. But it's something in it. I feel like a musician could be able to tell me there's something in the sound, and it's not just the speed. There's something in the song that you could hear it when you replay all these older songs. You could hear it. That's just, I don't know. Was it that they had a poorer quality of recording back then? If so, that I think a while back.
I noticed one of the things. So our music, our songs that's being released now, it's actually shorter, right? Many of these songs are like 2 minutes, 2 minutes and a piece. And I am actually wondering if the reason why is, especially when it comes to DJs or even radio stations, in many instances, you don't hear a full song being played anymore.
True.
So rather than, let's say, they're releasing a song that is 4 minutes long, because a DJ is only going to play maybe like a minute and a piece. The juggling. Yeah. Hi, caller. Good morning. Hi, caller. Good morning. Hello.
All right, so
we're not hearing you.
Not a thing we're hearing. You may have to try WhatsApp.
So so that's one of the other things that I've noticed. In that the music that's being released now it's getting shorter and shorter, and part of me wonders if the reason why that's happening is because many radio stations actually don't play whole songs anymore.
They don't.
Right?
They don't.
I can understand a DJ in terms of, let's say, in a session, etc., not playing a whole song, but radio stations hardly play whole songs anymore. So what's the point in releasing a song that's 4 minutes when it's only 2 minutes that's going to be played? So
true.
That's just another observation.
Yes. All right. So you remember you can call. We're in our Talk to Us segment. So in this segment, we want you to talk to us a little bit more. We want you to talk to us all morning, right? But this morning, in this Talk to Us segment, we encourage you to talk to us a little bit more. How can you do that? By calling us, yes, on 457-9997. Right now, we're not sure how the direct line is going. Unfortunately, it's just trying to dim our light. But alas, we go on, we go forward, onward we go. Right? You can call us, you can reach us on WhatsApp, and all is expected to be well there.
All right. So we have some comments in relation to what we spoke about. So mommy saying all music nice, but some lyrics are not, right? Carlson is saying the old music makes you want to dance with your lady.
Yes.
Not now is jump up by yourself. Which is a good point. And I'm looking at this in relation more so to dance hall music and some soca. I won't say raga soca because raga soca you can still dance with somebody. But dance hall music, like I know all the dance hall music, you could have actually danced with somebody with a lot of these songs. I won't call it some of them, but anyways, you would dance with somebody else. But
remember the songs used to make you rock.
Well, that's more reggae, but I talk about actual dance hall.
That's reggae. It's true. That's
talking about actual dance hall.
Red Rat, pitsy blasty blasty blast. So
no, there's a particular song that comes to my mind, but I wouldn't sing it on air. Right.
Okay then.
So a lot of the dance hall songs from before, you could have actually bubbled with your sister, right? You could actually dance with somebody with these songs, but I find a lot of the dance hall songs, and this is why I always used to call them the man tunes. And when it comes to the man tunes, I would say that this is the time for me to either go bathroom or go and get a drink, because you can't dance with somebody to some of these songs. This is when you see the men would just step out in the circle and they're doing the hand motions and they this and that, but it's not a time for you to actually be dancing with them, because how can you dance to them?
True, it's jump up, and now for dance all they're creating their own dances now, and TikTok now they taking them over there with the dances. So every little song you hear, they have a big serious dance that people me and you can't even do.
That was always happening. In terms of dances coming out,
especially for Jamaica.
There were always but in many instances there were always dances to particular songs, but is a little different now. The music for me is a little different now because it's dark, right? A lot of find the dancehall songs like everybody have problems.
I see what
I
you're
just
saying.
find a lot of the dancehall songs that come out, everybody sound like they have problems, right? Yeah. So you can't go on vibes with a young lady or a man anymore because all of you seem like y'all depressed. That's how it is. I look at a lot of the dancehall songs that come out of late, right? Kojo is saying the older songs tell a story, which is true. You found that there was a storytelling aspect to many of the older songs. Mighty Sparrow was borderline rude, or Mighty Sparrow was rude, Joshua? I ain't saying about borderline rude. A lot of these songs were rude, right? And so that's the comments that we have in relation to those. All right.
Okay, then. So we're out of the music. And we're going into our topic today. So there's an article in the newspaper. I am going to be reading from this. It's entitled "Marriage Plans Set Asunder." It's Like, what you call this thing again? This whole thing with him responding, writing, and people. What you call this whole process?
It's more like advice columns.
Right. That the advice column by Old George. Right. So somebody wrote to him saying, I am engaged to my girlfriend of 5 years, and our plan was to get married in the coming year. It so happened that I developed kidney problems and I'm in need of a transplant. I'm presently in the USA and on the waiting list for a kidney. I've been a US citizen for some time now. I asked my girlfriend to have the test that will determine whether or not she was a match for me, but she refused. Worse, she said she was not marrying a man with kidney issues. She has called off the engagement and has refused to even take any of my calls. Should I continue to try to reach her so I can persuade her to change her mind? And read our judge response? No, okay. Right, so that's the issue before us. And so we're wondering now, how do you feel about this?
Is it in sickness and health even before marriage, right?
Yeah.
Do we look at in sickness and health even before marriage? What are your thoughts on it?
I was having some mixed feelings. I was trying to look at it from all angles. I could understand where the lady is coming from because you haven't started anything yet. And now it's possible. I'm not calling death on the man, please. No, but it's possible that he can die. And we know kidney issue is a serious and expensive issue. So there's that cost there that is going to come up. So I was trying to look at it from her perspective, but then I'm also thinking of who I am as a person. And I feel like if that were me, I may have stuck by his side. But I mean, I could always say so because I'm not in this situation. Is until I get in this situation, I'm going to know how I'm going to really respond. But I feel like if it were me, I would have stuck by his side. Yeah.
All right. So for me, reading it was interesting. No,
But I'm not upset with her decision though, because I could still kind of understand where she's coming from. So I'm not upset with her. Whatever people could do, what they think is best for them. And that's fine. Yeah.
And this is the thing. They're heading into it. They're heading into a marriage. They haven't been married as yet.
Yeah.
So in terms of, let's say, those years under their belt together, in terms of going through, well, I don't know how long their dating period has been either, right? But they're not married. And is it necessarily wrong for us if we see certain things before getting into marriage? Because that's what we always tell persons. If you see certain things before marriage, don't venture further, right? And in this case, he already has kidney problems and she knows it's going to be expensive. She also doesn't necessarily want to have to be the one to take care of him. She cannot necessarily be faulted for taking this action, right? But what it also does prove to him is the level of love that he probably thought that she had for him, she actually doesn't, right? Because if you are about to marry somebody, you are going to stand beside them regardless, right? Unless they commit a crime or something, you would want to stand, you're going to stand beside them regardless. No, what it is, I also found interesting is that she didn't want to do the test to see if she was a match.
Yeah, that part, like, wow, you cool. Right? Well, I think you called for that,
but is she actually called? Because if I do not want to give up one, so suppose she was a match, right? I may not want to I don't want to have to go through surgery, number one, and I may not want to give up one of my kidneys, right? Suppose they made children and she wanted to give if a child developed kidney problems, she may want to give one of those kidneys to her child. So when I thought about it, I said, in terms of being a match and not wanting to do the test, I can't necessarily falter, right? Leaving him, yes, I would falter, but in a way, but not wanting to do the match and not necessarily wanting to give up a body part to him, I can understand because you get married to an individual. Listen to me. If that relationship went bad, I wanted back my kidney. Right? I was going to tell this man I want back my kidney. Especially if he's the one who did something wrong. I am going to tell him I want back my kidney.
Imagine you going out and cheat with my kidney back.
Yeah, And that's the thing, because, and this is for me why, because you haven't had enough years under your belt together to say that we've weathered everything. We've gone through 30 years of ups and downs, and we're still very much in love with each other, etc. They haven't even been married as yet, and they may not have dated long enough for her to say, okay, so this is actually the man who loves me, or this is the man who's going to do everything for me. So I could kind of understand it. It seems cold, but I could understand it.
True. That's true. Yeah. And I wonder how long they would have been together. And I mean, you kind of want to look into the relationship. Every person's relationship is different. People are different. So everybody's not going to react the same. Everybody's not going to feel the same way. But it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one here.
All right, Crumpets, a key from the two of you. Crumple, now listen. Unless I've been married to this man for a considerable amount of years, I don't think that I want to do it either. I would not say that I would not marry him though, right? Because if I'm getting to the point of getting to the stage of marrying somebody, it means that I do love them.
Yeah.
Right? I take marriage in that context very seriously. So I would not leave him because he's sick.
Yeah.
But giving up my kidney, I do not know.
We got two of those. I can give you one, so you call off the engagement.
I do not know. All right. Joshua's saying, my wife thought she married a nut. Sadly for her, she married a whole tree. All right, Joshua. All right. So you can lend your thoughts to this discussion.
Yes.
Is the lady wrong for not wanting to go further with this marriage or the intended marriage? Given that her fiance is sick, was she wrong? Right? Was she wrong for not going further?
What say ye? Anybody married people listening? How you feel about this? Talk to us now. Let we know. We want to know. We ain't married yet. I've not been proposed to either, so I can't speak about being in the fiance stage. I'm not upset about that, I mind you. Right? But let's know what you think. What you think?
Yeah, and
perhaps you can share an experience where you had maybe some health issue, and you could let us know how your partner dealt with it, how you and your partner dealt with it. Let me know, educate the non-married folks.
Yeah, but yeah, and
what a thing there.
Not going further. And when I think about it as well, do you want to necessarily start your marriage with all of this? Because it would actually be stress.
It's a heavy start.
Right? It's a heavy way to start a marriage. Hi, Coach. Good morning.
Yeah, but let me flip that script now. If it was her, the kid, everybody will look at the man as a bad man, because they'll say, "Oh, you know."
Yeah, you love me enough.
You love me enough. That remember the other day I sent you something that you'd say he was going to look at.
Yeah, I
similar to that.
But because I couldn't find that though. But yeah,
he spent so much money, sent her to school and everything. As soon as she get high and mighty, she just dumped him. So it's as I'm saying, it's a level of respect and love you have for the person that will make you want to give your kidney or anything like that. I mean, if you've been with somebody for 5 years, to me that's a pretty long time for you to know if you really, really want to be with this person and how much you really want that person in your life, And so even just doing the test would have given him a little bit more assurance. She might not have been a match, but just make him feel well at least.
Yeah, but suppose I do the test, Kojo, and it's a match, and I still don't want to give him a kidney. Then we still have problems.
Yeah, but I'm saying at least you went as far as say, well, okay, let me see if I was a match. But boss, let me tell you something. Even if I'm a match or not, I don't know if I could give up my kidney. As you say, you might want to save it for a kid or so. You never know, because if they have kids and he has kidney problem already, most likely, a lot of times that thing is kind of passed on to kids too, So most likely a kid might come up with the same disease that he has, the same problems he has, and if she doesn't give away one, she ain't gonna forgive.
Exactly. Exactly.
So So that's what I'm saying. So it's a catch-22, you know. You know, giving up body parts is not an easy thing. It's not an easy decision. As much as you might want to look at it, you know, it's not that easy because you're looking at it. If I give you one of my kidney, next thing I develop kidney problems, I don't have no kidney.
Yep.
So yeah, so it's a whole heap of things goes through people's head when they have to give up body parts. I mean, a bone marrow transplant, you know, it's different because they're only taking something from you, but they're not taking like a whole kidney, you know?
Yeah. Yep. All right. Thanks, Kojo. Yeah. Looking at it as well too, I don't know if I would want to enter a relationship or a marriage with all the stress. Right? Because it's also going to be a financial burden.
Yeah.
If it's not just on him, it's going to be on both of them. Right? So if she's seeing all of these signs up front, then has she actually done him a favor by scratching and running?
Well, I mean, he gonna have to eventually suck it up and move on. So he will find out later in life whether that was a good thing or not that she did. He'll figure it out. But good question.
Yeah.
Good question. Has she done him a favor?
I think she did. I think she did. And maybe for herself as well, too, knowing that this isn't what she signed up for. Now, yes, marriage is for better or for worse, in sickness and in health. But do you want for the sickness and health to start at the beginning of the marriage? Before we've even had solid years of just being happy and at peace and, you know, financially stable. Before all of that has even started, we're going into this relationship or this marriage with all of these other issues at the forefront. She knows what it is that she wants for herself. So there's nothing wrong there.
True. You know what she wants, and maybe it was better for her to do that before the marriage than to say, let me go through with this and get married, and then when you've already spent all your money, and marriage isn't a whole legal process, you've already gone through the process, you realize, you know what, I can't handle this at all. I can't handle this. It may have been worse then. So maybe she has done the best thing in leaving before letting him know this is how I feel I gone, than to pretend like you're okay with it or try to suck it up. And you go in and you realize, boy, I really should have gone before. I can't handle it. By then, now you have to include lawyers and lawyer fee and a lot of extra money when money already is, you know, going to be an issue there in the first place. So that's our thoughts on that one. All right. We are going to leave you at this time, our final talk segment for the morning, and we are going to go into our community date line.